right, guys, we are back. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. As always, it is so great to see you. Friends, welcome to an episode on overlanding and off-road. And you might have heard the term overlanding before, but if you're watching this video, you probably aren't exactly sure what it is. Now, since I got into overlanding, I've gotten tons of questions with regards to what it is and how it is different from off-roading, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. But before we dive into all that, I want to give you a huge thank you for tuning in and watching this video. To say that I appreciate your support is an absolute understatement. Now, if you haven't yet already subscribed to the channel, think about doing that right now. It only takes a moment, and doing so is going to keep you up to speed on all the content, all the videos that we're going to be pushing out here. Plus, coming around the corner, we're going to be having some pretty kick-ass giveaways, and being a subscriber is going to be one of the things that you need to do in order to be eligible to win some pretty kick-ass prizes. Now, with that said, pull up a seat and let's go. Let's start off with the definition of overlanding. Now, if we break it down, it really means go over land. Historically, the term overlanding has been used to describe the movement of people across land. This dates back thousands and thousands of years to the earliest humans that traveled by foot. Then humans domesticated animals like donkeys, horses, and camels and used them for overlanding. Now, on one hand, these animals could transport humans much faster than the humans could walk, but they also allowed humans to take possessions with them overland in a much more convenient fashion. Now, throughout history, overlanding has become a part of the human experience. The movement of humans out of Africa, the transport of people and goods along the Silk Road from China to Europe, the Oregon Trail, and the act of moving livestock overland in the Australian outback are all examples of overlanding. Modern definitions of overlanding might say that it's using a truck, an SUV, or other four-wheel drive vehicle to get from point A to point B. But I'd argue that overlanding also includes cars, vans, RVs, two-wheel drive vehicles, motorcycles, and even bicycles to travel overland. In other words, guys, overlanding is more about the journey that you take. It's all about living in the present moment, enjoying the scenery, and not being so concerned about where you end up. It's a way of exploring, connecting with the surrounding, and fulfilling your need to wanderlust. And that is what precisely happened with the advent of motorized cars, extensive road networks. People all over the world set out to travel great distances, from Paris to Stockholm, from New York to San Francisco, and from Cape Town to Cairo, as just a few examples. For me, overlanding is a little bit different. In my mind, chugging along on a two-track on my Jeep is off-roading, not overlanding. I think another contrast is that overlanding might be a journey of several days, weeks, or even months, where off-roading might be an afternoon or a weekend out on the trail. Now, heck, you might even take a 2-month overlanding journey and have several off-roading day trips along the way. Another way to distinguish overlanding is that it usually involves camping. After all, you're going to be driving the Pan America Highway from Alaska down to South America. You're going to be in some desolate spots where, guys, you're going to need a place to eat and sleep. Now, in my case, as you can see behind me here, I have a Toro off-road Skylux tent on top of my turtleback trailer for my overlanding adventures. Now, the trailer has amenities like solar power, water heater, a kitchenette, and tons. Did I say tons? Yeah, it has tons of storage. I can bring some creature comforts with me because a overlanding journey typically involves an extended period of time. Now, you might be asking, Alex, can you take that trailer off-road? Guys, hell yeah. That's the reason why I went with a turtleback trailer to begin with. Actually, not to get too far off topic, I spent about 6 months shopping around at different off-road, well, quote-unquote off-road trailers, and this one, which we'll have another video breaking down this trailer, but this one really was a true off-road. So wherever the Jeep goes, hell yeah, this thing's gonna go. But if I had an RV, guys, that would be a completely different story. In that case, the RV would be my overlanding vehicle, and I could tow an off-roading vehicle behind it, like, for example, the Jeep or one of those Can-Am things. Now, overlanding also requires a bit of different gear than you would need for an off-road track. For example, if you're strictly overlanding, smaller all-terrain tires might be a better bet from a ride comfort and, hell, who are we kidding, economy standpoint. But if you're off-roading, larger mud terrain tires, improved suspension, skid plates, a winch, and so forth might be on your list of must-have items for your off-roading rig. Now, a lot of folks out there are just like me and have one rig that can tackle both overlanding and off-road. All right, in my case, I can use my 2020 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon for the overlanded journeys, and when I get to my destination, I can head out on some of the worst trails that I can find and enjoy an afternoon of off-roading. Now, Are there tons of commonality between the two? Hell yeah, there is, but I think the differences are pretty clear. Overlanding is the adventure in which you are self-contained with your vehicle and your living accommodations. Though your setup, guys, might be like mine and allow for off-roading as well, in many cases, overlanding rigs are not cut out for hardcore off-roading. Hell, you might encounter some rough roads along the way, but getting back onto into the wilderness and crawling over rocks is not likely part of the plan when you're overlanding. On the other hand, off-roading usually involves travel on much more extreme roads, man, if they even exist at all, in environments in which you need to have a very capable off-road vehicle with all the appropriate rescue and recovery gear. Yeah, off-roading vehicles are usually purpose-built for off-roading, and guys, don't include living accommodations like overlanding vehicles do. Think about it like this. The Rubicon Trail is an off-roading adventure. It's 22 miles long. It's a rough ride that definitely requires a four-wheel drive rig. Guys, I couldn't even dream of pulling my trailer over that trail. I mean, I'm sure it can be done and the Jeep and trailer would fare just fine, but man, dragging this thing over that is of little interest to me. But I might include a day trip to the Rubicon Trail and a longer overlanding trip that takes me from my home here in Southern California, north to the Sierras, east to Nevada, and south through Arizona and back home again. Guys, no matter if you're overlanding or off-road though, it can be one heck of a good time. So there you have it, guys. Now you know the differences between overlanding and off-road. Now we can move forward and talk about future videos and how to plan and prep for overlanding and off-road adventures. All right, guys, that is it. This was a fun video to put together. Now it's time in the video where I'm going to ask you to do all that YouTube stuff that really does help the channel out. If you are mildly entertained, if I helped you out with this video, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. If you're currently not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. While you're at it, kick that bell to be notified each time that we come out with a new videos. Guys, I'm going to be heading out there. You get out there yourself, stay healthy, and find your adventures.